Hey, what's up? Funny enough, I meant to finish this project on the 100th episode. I know I've talked about this a couple times within the span of 900 plus days. Um, However, due to a couple of reasons, like I couldn't figure out a good finale. I couldn't get the montage I wanted in that finale to work or get all the clips I needed. Due to a couple of reasons, I just decided to keep on pushing it, and now we're on 950 something, right? Or 970 something, like the thousandth episode, like thousand day, is coming up pretty soon. It's sometime in like mid March, early March. And I think it's something I don't like think about. It's like it's one of those topics that I really can't bring myself to dedicate like any thought to it because anytime I do, I don't find like a satisfactory conclusion in my head, and that just pisses me off, right? Um, I really don't know, right? These, like, to be honest, like, this is, I have no plan to, like, pitch an idea or anything like that. Like, these are just my raw thoughts streaming to this camera right now. Um, but I think one option is to just do like a reflection episode. I remember I did like a 26 episodes, 26 questions thing and 25 questions. Like I just said, I kind of just like do a reflection and that's it. But also reflections, I've already done it before. It doesn't feel satisfactory for an ending because like I'm saying the same thing. Like, oh, this was a really cool project. This was really fun. I learned a lot, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's nothing that really does a nice bow tie on the thing. I really don't know if that's going to be found within just a reflection episode. Another option is having like some CGI effects with like, yeah, these cool graphics. And so it's like, oh, what's next? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like this montage and everything. The issue with that is that, like, that's very expensive. That's in terms of money and time. I had some ideas to go around that in some way, but even with those ideas, I don't think they'll be able to get done in a reasonable time. um, so that was one idea. I really don't know. I really don't. I think I've been thinking about it. I try, and then like the issue with another thing, even though I can't find like a satisfactory ending. What happens when I dedicate too much thinking time to this whole finale thing is that my imagination just goes awry. So it's like that's a word I think, but it just goes wild. And I think about like this amazing cinematic finale, and I just know, or I'm aware of how much I'm willing to dedicate towards the finale, and I question, is that something that is my dedication going to match the finale I put in my head? So it's that situation where I have to actually throw everything off, like all my organizations, all my projects, I just throw it off for the finale, or is it a situation where I peel back my expectations to match my dedication? And which sounds really lame, but that's something I also have to think about. And now I say it out loud, I really don't want to do that. So it's a really tricky situation. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I'm married to the 1000th episode finale necessarily. I would love it because it's a cool number. It's like 1,000 episodes done. Have a good day. Um, but then for 1,001, 1,010, 1,000, whatever, I can find a good finale. I'll much rather choose that over having a good number. To be honest, I think what I've decided with this thing is that the value is much more internal than external. So like even though 1,000 seems like a cool number to a broad audience, if the quality isn't good to me internally, the value is very little there. Um, so I'm not married to the deadline that is like March 10th or March 12th or whatever. So there's not really time. There's not really time to think about it. But there is some wiggle room and trying to figure out what I really want to do. And to be frank, what I was really planning to do after Project Phillips wrapped up this whole nearly 1,000 day project is to go into the next venture, which is meant to be Star Labs, the spatial temporal abstraction representation research venture. And then what that would be will be basically my own research hub in the sense I post like the papers I do, I post some of the work, I get people to join and they post their papers. It becomes like this small research lab or a big research lab, however it is. And there's also another branch where you can like explain world models, explain spatial intelligence, explain different concepts or different algorithms and all that. That was meant to be that, and that would be like a much more active social media compared to like a vlog thing where it's just like every day. Like that would be like, okay, make interesting videos, make sure you have good quality, not just a situation where you have to meet a deadline every day. Um, so that was next research venture. So I was thinking, like, should I do the finale in such a way that it ties into that, or does that kind of put does that kind of put like some you basically like in TV shows or movies, there's this idea that if you reference the time period too much, it becomes like it's easy for it to rot. It's like if you reference the if you're a 2000 movie and you keep your references are heavily tied to the humor of the 2000s, especially the words, then there's a risk of it like aging badly with the times, right? And does that become the same thing here, where it's like, okay, I tied to like Star Labs, and let's say Star Labs, it's not the big thing I do. Maybe it's like something else, right? Then like what happened? Like it was just like, okay, your finale was a sequel. Your finale wasn't even a finale for your thing. It was a sequel to another thing, which is like something I really don't like. Like, I think a good example is in Naruto Shippuden, which sounds really nerdy, but like in Naruto Shippuden, he never became Hokage in the show, and I always thought that was stupid because like even though there's obviously a sequel, I think the purpose of his character arc, the purpose of that project was to end in such a way where he meets his goal. So it doesn't make sense to take that goal and place it in another project, right? Because that project has another goal, right? So that's the whole thing. Um, maybe that's the thought process that should apply there. Maybe it's just a natural thing where the goal is more less so about reaching a certain status, reaching a certain level of proficiency in some skill, but more so about like, okay, I've proven to myself that I can constantly evolve beyond what I currently do. And Star Labs at that time, at March 12th, 2026, 11:59 p.m. was just the next thing to evolve to, and then the next thing just happens, and the next and the next, and maybe that could be a thing. Um, and who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I really think I should just do like like a self-contained ending. I think that'll be much better, but who knows? What it may be. Um, but I'm excited. Actually, that's not true. I'm actually worried. I think I really don't have like that's the one project I think right now that I'm currently working on that I have no clue where to go with it. Like with a world model, one native world model game engine, Tier Parker Do, I have a world model and maybe call some world model APIs for a quick demo. That's like I have an idea for how to do that. Turp Labs, the Turpio thing where we're doing really good. Just have to work on the back end, get some new back end engineers doing really well on that big thing. Have some projects, move to a new project, have an idea how I'm going to do that. Like do Quantum, already have the code base done, proof of concept done, have an idea how I'm going to do that, right? But like this thing, this project that's like existed long before them, right? I have no idea how to do it. Right? I have no clue in the world what would be satisfactory in the end because like there's no criteria. Like I remember the goals when I first started. I loosely remember them, and those goals like thought out of place like in the 50 days after it started, right? So it's like those goals are no longer a thing, but there was this underlying goal in terms of the person I became through the project and the person I could inspire someone else to be through this project. So like how do you place a definitive end, a definitive goalpost or finish line to that? And I don't know. But I do think I've just been ranting for like the last 8 minutes or so, 8 minutes and 12 seconds or 8 minutes and 38 minutes. So I think I'm just gonna end it off here. So besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.